Have you ever wondered how much our planet has warmed over the past century and the consequences that follow? This question is not just a matter of curiosity, but a pressing concern that demands our attention. Global warming, a significant increase in the Earth's average temperature, is a stark reality that we are facing today. Over the past century, the average global temperature has soared, leading to a multitude of changes in our environment. The polar ice caps, once vast and seemingly invincible, are melting at an alarming rate. This melting is contributing to a rise in sea levels, threatening low-lying areas around the world. But that's not all. The increase in temperature is also causing more frequent and severe weather events, affecting life as we know it. These facts might seem alarming, but they are the reality of our world today. The question is, what are we going to do about it? So, how severe is global warming really? Well, let's delve into the heart of the matter. The severity of global warming is not a matter of opinion, but a matter of hard, undeniable facts. The Earth's average temperature has risen by more than 1.5 degrees Fahrenheit over the last century, and scientists expect it to rise another 0.5 to 2 degrees over the next 80 years. This might seem minuscule, but when you consider the delicate balance of our planet's climate system, even a small change can have profound effects. Let's look at the polar ice caps. They've been around for hundreds of thousands of years, but now they're melting at an unprecedented rate. In fact, Arctic sea ice has declined by nearly 30% in the last 3 decades alone. This is not just about polar bears losing their homes, it's about the potential for rising sea levels. Sea level rise is another stark reality of global warming. As the polar ice caps melt, the volume of our oceans increases, and as the temperature of the water rises, so does its volume. This double whammy has led to a global sea level rise of about 8 inches in the last century, and it's not slowing down. By the end of this century, we could see a rise of 1 to 4 feet depending on how rapidly the ice caps melt and how quickly the oceans heat up. These figures are not just numbers, they are evidence of a planet in crisis. They are a testament to the impact of human activity on our natural world. They are a warning of the potential for catastrophic change if we don't take action. And most importantly, they are a call to action. Each of us has a role to play in reversing these trends, in safeguarding our planet for future generations. These figures are not just numbers, they are a warning to humanity. You might wonder, how does all this affect me directly? Well, the impacts of global warming weave themselves into the fabric of our daily lives, often in ways we might not immediately recognize. Let's start with the weather. Remember those scorching summer days that seem to be getting hotter each year? That's not just in your head. The past 5 years have been the hottest on record, and this has a real impact on our lives. From heat waves causing health complications, especially among the elderly, to wildfires ravaging our forests and homes, extreme weather events are no longer the exception, but the norm. But it's not just about the heat. Global warming affects our food supply too. Rising temperatures and unpredictable weather patterns wreak havoc on agriculture. Farmers struggle to grow crops in increasingly unfavorable conditions, leading to food shortages. In the past decade, we've seen a 20% increase in global food prices. That's a direct hit to everyone's wallet. And let's talk about health risks. Rising temperatures mean disease-carrying insects like mosquitoes thrive. This increases the spread of diseases such as malaria and dengue fever. It's estimated that by 2050, half the world's population could be at risk from diseases spread by these insects. Economically, the impacts are just as profound. The cost of dealing with these climate-related issues is staggering. From rebuilding after extreme weather events to healthcare costs associated with increased disease spread, the economic burden of global warming is immense. In the United States alone, the economic damage from hurricanes and wildfires has tripled in the last 3 decades. In essence, global warming isn't just about polar bears and melting ice caps. It's about the air we breathe, the food we eat, the diseases we risk catching, and the economy we're a part of. It's a complex web of impacts that touches every aspect of our lives. It's clear that global warming has far-reaching effects on our lives. As we move forward, it's crucial to recognize these effects and take action to mitigate them. But it's not all doom and gloom. We have the power to make a change. This power lies in the choices we make every day. Solutions to global warming are within our reach. A pivotal solution lies in renewable energy. As we shift from fossil fuels to renewable sources like wind, solar, and hydropower, we reduce our carbon footprint. If we were to convert even a quarter of our global energy production to these renewable sources, we could slash carbon emissions by an astounding 50%. Deforestation is another major contributor to global warming. Our forests are vital carbon sinks, absorbing carbon dioxide and releasing oxygen. By halting deforestation and promoting reforestation, we could significantly reduce our carbon emissions. In fact, if we stop deforestation today, we could prevent the equivalent of 1 trillion pounds of carbon dioxide from entering the atmosphere. The power of change also lies in our lifestyles. Small changes can make a big difference. Choosing to cycle or walk instead of driving, reducing our consumption of meat, or simply switching off lights when they aren't needed, can all help to reduce our individual carbon footprints. If every person on the planet made just one of these changes, we could reduce global carbon emissions by a staggering 20%. The power of change is within us all. It's in the choices we make, the actions we take, and the values we uphold. It's in the hands of policymakers who have the ability to make sweeping changes, and it's in the hands of each individual who has the ability to make a difference in their own small way. Our actions can make a difference. The choice is in our hands. It's time to harness the power of change and shape a better, more sustainable future for ourselves and for generations to come. Our actions can make a difference. The choice is in our hands. So what can you do to contribute to the fight against global warming? The answer lies in the everyday choices we make. Let's delve into some of the simple actions we can take to combat global warming. Firstly, consider reducing your energy consumption. It sounds daunting, doesn't it? But it's easier than you think. You could start by switching off appliances when they are not in use. It's a small step, but over time it adds up. Also, consider using energy-efficient appliances, or if possible, renewable energy sources. Next, let's talk about recycling. This is something we've all heard about, but how many of us actually do it consistently? Recycling reduces the demand for new products, which in turn decreases the amount of carbon emissions produced. So, let's make a pact to recycle more, shall we? Then there's the matter of our diet. Now, you might be wondering what food has to do with global warming. Well, a lot actually. The meat industry, for instance, contributes significantly to greenhouse gas emissions, so by reducing our meat consumption, we can directly impact the reduction of these emissions. Transportation is another area where we can make a difference. Consider using public transport, cycling, or even walking instead of driving. Not only will this reduce your carbon footprint, but it's also great for your health. Lastly, we can support green initiatives. This could be as simple as planting a tree, or as involved as participating in a community cleanup. You could also support businesses that prioritize sustainability, or donate to organizations that fight climate change. These actions may seem small in the grand scheme of things, but remember, change starts with us. If each of us makes these small changes, collectively, we can make a big difference. Remember, every little effort counts in the fight against global warming. In conclusion, global warming is a pressing issue that requires our immediate attention. Throughout this dialogue, we've delved deep into the heart of the matter, shedding light on the rising temperatures that are shaking the very foundations of our planet. We've explored the profound impacts this is having on our lives, from altering weather patterns to threatening biodiversity. But most importantly, we've discussed the power of change. Each one of us, in our own small ways, can contribute to the global fight against climate change. By adopting sustainable practices and advocating for green policies, we can tip the scales back in our planet's favor. The time for action is now. Let's not wait until the impacts of global warming become irreversible. Let's stand together, learn together, and most importantly, act together. If you found this video informative, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Together, we can make a difference for our planet.